reading the Iliad. So, we got the Emily Wilson's translation. If you have a problem, complain to my bookstore, not me, because they don't have any other translation. Obviously, you know. So, the first thing we're reading is the introduction. You know, the 14 pages of trash and good stuff. The good stuff. The Iliad, a long epic poem set in the mythical treasure moor, tells two interwoven stories across its 24 books. The first describes the overwhelming anger of a Greek warrior, Achilles, and his catastrophic consequence. The second book tells how brave Trojan warrior Hector leaves his city family to attack the Greek invaders, and returns home only after a death. These two stories closely braided together. Achilles' rage, his consequent absence from the battle, enables Hector's successful advance towards the Greek camp. Hector kills Achilles' dearest friend Patroclus. The rage of Achilles turns against Hector. These two storylines are resolved together with Achilles allows the dead Hector to be brought back to his people and be mourned. The struggles of many others, men, women, goddesses, and gods, are woven into the same grand tapestry. The poem evokes human greatness, human vulnerability. I put this here, Robert. Yeah, here. Sorry. Human vulnerability. People are godlike in their courage and skill, but even the greatest mortals fall, clutch the dust between their bloody fingers. The beautiful word, monotheios, short-lived, is used for both Achilles and Hector, and applies to all of us. We die too soon, and there is no adequate recompense for the terrible inevitable loss of life. Yet, through poetry, the actions and feelings of some long ago brave, lives may be remembered, even 3,000 years later. This is bringing on the Kleos of I think it's Kleos. It's the stuff that the Greeks very treasured a lot. The one thing that we know that the Greeks did treasure, that we know for sure that the Greeks did treasure, and this is why the Greek heroes did treasure, which is why there's whole stories really important. Is Kleos, the name, being able to remember names, which is why Achilles knew he was gonna die. The fun fact everyone knows about Achilles is he knew he was gonna die at the Trojan War. It's the way that he died that is beautiful. It's greater from Greek size. Loss and compensation. Two epic poems are ascribed to Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey. The Odyssey set when the Trojan War is over, describes how one extraordinary man, the Greek warrior Odysseus, recovers everything he had lost: his home, his family, and his status as head of the household, and lord of Ithaca. The Iliad, set in the final war of the Trojan War, immerses us in the world of war, shows us what happens to all the warriors who never came back home in life. Like Odysseus, Achilles, I don't know, but all I know is that Odysseus is the correct pronunciation. It's like Menelaus. I don't know about the others. Maybe. Achilles and Hector are warriors separated from their people, like him. Each eventually find his way back to his community, but unlike Odysseus, the great warriors of the Iliad never fully reclaim what they have lost. The attempt to repair one loss leads to another, leads to only further losses. Hector's homecoming eventually happens after death. Achilles mourned his beloved friend Patroclus. Friend, yeah. Wish I had a friend like that. That's a joke. I do not at all. Patroclus and eventually shares his grief with the grief of others, but his friend is still dead, and always will be. So are countless others, including those who are forgotten and unnamed. The past cannot be undone. The dead never come back to life. The Iliad is framed by scenes of loss and restitution. At the beginning of the poem, a priest named Chrysis loses his daughter but recovers her alive thanks to the intervention of the god Apollo. The final book, another father recovers another lost child, but his son Hector comes back as a corpse. Yeah, because I read a bit of the first thing because I was like, is the introduction really important? It is, because it's giving a backstory of what really technically happens and gives more context of what's actually happened, except for the book being Trojans and the Greeks, to what the man who started this whole conflict has to say. Paris is asking all the other Trojans. Who's Paris? My God, how did this whole war started? I know how it started, but how did it start? For those who don't, Hector comes back home as a corpse. Agamemnon, bro, the brother of Hector. So, Nestor, kill the brothers of Hector. Yeah, it is. When people are captured alive, they may be brought back by their families. The capture refuses, the longest captive kinsmen may fight to recover them, as they did on a grand scale for Helen, the daughter of Zeus and wife of the great warrior Menelaus. His abduction by the Trojan powers is the premise for the premise. I don't know English. It's my first language, but I don't understand it. For the Trojan War, but recovery of a living captive is rare in the Iliad. The priest's daughter, Chrysis, is exceptional because she is guided by Apollo. Without divine protection, mortal women captured in war are usually enslaved for the rest of their lives. On the battlefield, men are usually not captured alive, but killed. When a man is slain in times of peace, families can claim partial compensation for their loss by exacting a blood price from the killer. Killers may be forced to leave the community and take refuge elsewhere, as Patroclus did as a boy after he accidentally killed another boy in an argument over a game. He was adopted by his cousin, Pallas, and was besides Achilles like an older brother. In such case, the killer's loss of his home comforts the family in their need for vengeance. But in war, killers recognize no binding obligation to compensate the families of the victim. The only way the bereaved can recoup the losses is to kill the killer. His comrades will demand vengeance in their turn. Killing begets killing, death begets death. Killing, death begets killing. Death begets death. I'm judging that one up because I don't understand it and we're not on an online textbook. Bring about, in war, if someone kills someone, then more people will kill because that person killed. As I've said in the past paragraph, which has been anyone who kills someone actually kills that person or ruins their lives because they killed that person as a way to honor them and be yeah, sorry, I'm sorry I killed that dude. Something like that. Death brings more death in war, which it did a lot, but the corpses weren't shredded. Greatly, Lambo shines. Every loss of life generates further loss of life. Yet even in wartime, people can get partial and inadequate compensation for the loss of a loved one. When it's too late to save a warrior's life, friends and kinsmen may be able to save his weapon and his armor. If those have been stripped, the companions of a dead man may at least save his body. Long and bitter battles are fought in the attempt to rescue the dead, including the deaths of pardon. The dead I've never heard that name, but like my knowledge of Greek mythology is it's broad, but it's like weirdly broad. It's probably the way that I like follow media that's like my only knowledge of like Greek mythology. I used to be good at media like musicals. Hades sound. You thought I was going to say something incorrect, but that's because of different. It's probably good to meet my girl Penelope. The detective from Desecration at the hands of the enemy. Didn't Hector's bodyguards described by guys? I thought I got desiccated by Achilles for killing Patroclus. Am I thinking of a different dude? I probably am, but I don't think I am. If the body is recovered, if friends and family can at least provide their loved ones with the honors due the dead. Funeral cannot compensate the bereaved for their loss, cannot bring the dead back to life, but it's often the only recompense we have. In accepting such inadequate forms of compensation, we so accept our own limitations and morality. The extraordinary wrath of Achilles entails an assistant deliberate refusal to accept any of the traditional forms of compensation for the various losses, expenses. The first stage, Agamemnon insulted Achilles by robbing him of a female captive, Briseis. That's probably why they made like Patroclus and Achilles cousins in Troy and made like Achilles like a lover of women, even though he's not theoretically, because of like the way that he kidnapped the priestess. I might be wrong, but like it's common in this time to have like multiple lovers, I think. I'm taking ancient history, but it hasn't talked about the whole thing. All it's talked about women is women bad. They got like no political power. Spartan women though, they could own like a lot of land. You know what? They had money. Spartan women can get money. That's all I remember, because the way that they like the money from the dead go, like they give some to the wife and then give the rest to their children. But since the wife still got money, they still had money and could still buy land, but they didn't have political power, so their land basically meant nothing. It's weird. They had no like rights, but they could have rights. They had the right of land, but not the right to vote or do anything else. Very interesting. Agamemnon later realizes his mistakes and offers to give the woman back untouched, along with a lavish set of gifts as compensation for the affront. But Achilles adamantly rejects the offer, insisting that even an infinite number of gifts, as many as the sands of the sea, could never be adequate compensation for his original humiliation. Not even his gifts to me could match the grains of dust and said, not even then would Agamemnon ever sway my heart. I just skipped over part. It was like, Menelaus, son of Atreus, Patroclus, his friend. Achilles associates his social loss of status, trust, and goodwill among comrades with something else, but he will soon lose. Oh, flip. I'm getting, like, uncomfortable. I'm switching positions. That is not a position. These days to find his own brief life. He insists that the traditional warrior code, whereby fighters receive honor as compensation for risking their lives, has been violated. Cowards and heroes have the same reward. Dare everything or nothing, death still comes. Moreover, perhaps the trade was never worth it in the first place. Material wealth, such as treasure or animals, can be traded and recovered, but this loss can never be recouped. You can raid fine cattle, well-fed sheep. You can trade to get tripods and wed horses with hard gold manes. But human life does not come back again. After it passes through the fence of teeth, No trade of rustling can recover it. I don't know what they're reading from, but I'm hoping they're reading from something good. I'm sorry, what? What's it? 30, 20, 24, and I want 50. Oh, fuck. The almost childlike simplicity of truth. The observation is overwhelmingly powerful. These are of hence between the interior and exterior of the body. Because they're still counted as bones. It's like when you lose a teeth, you'll technically lose a bone. It's like dead bones. It's weird. Teeth are weird. Like a barrier that keeps animals inside their pen. But this little fence is too frail to know how easily animals can... to keep human life locked inside. I skipped a sentence, as I usually do when reading. Cleese, an experienced looter and cattle thief, knows how easily animals can be flinched from their original owners. The hard it may be to track down a stolen horse or herd. To figure over a lost life is not hard, but impossible. After the death of Patroclus, Achilles' wrath changes. He accepts Agamemnon's gifts, along with the return of Briseis. But he does so half-heartedly. His mind is elsewhere. Achilles' original losses of the woman of dignity and of trust in Agamemnon have become irrelevant compared to his far greater loss of his dearest friend Patroclus. Patroclus? I've been saying Patroclus. I don't know if that's correct. Is it Patroclus? I don't know. I wish I could give you an answer, but I honestly don't know. Death makes every other loss seem small. In the second phase, the object of his wrath shifts from Agamemnon to Hector, the killer of Patroclus. Yeah, okay, I was correct. That's nice. Hector, the killer of Patroclus, English, P, on whom he wants to inflict infinite pain and humiliation. In this second phase, Achilles again refuses to accept any form of compensation. No amount of slaughter, no amount of humiliation could ever make up for the loss of his beloved friend and companion, who is gone forever. Achilles dams up the river's answers with corpses of Trojans, but it is not enough. He slays Hector, but killing the killer is not enough. Achilles then pierces Hector's ankles, a vicious reminder that the Trojans' legs were not fast enough to outrun the Greeks' swift feet. Threading strips of oxhide through them and drag the naked body behind his chariot. The dead man's parents, wife, and people are made to watch the desperation of his corpse. So I was correct. Nice to know. It's like 10 pages later. Isn't this like what the whole Iliad's about though? Is like Achilles' wrath and that like what really technically happened and why it's such a bad thing that he did this? Unless I've misread the first page, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Like the whole desecration of Hector's corpse is like being able to have a funeral right is like something that is a right. It's a right. It's not something that you can just go, No, it's something that they're allowed and they're allowed to get. But Achilles being Achilles, they're like, nah. No. Still, it's not enough for Achilles. It will never be enough. It could humiliate Hector for all eternity. And Patroclus would still be dead. It is only in the final two books, with the help of divine advice and human rituals of mourning, that Achilles begins to relent to his obstinate worth. He recognizes that loss cannot be avoided or eliminated, and sometimes there is no possible adequate compensation. and we accept inadequate forms of compensation, knowing that they are not enough, and that they are all there is. We can at least share in the universal experience of loss. Achilles shares his grief with his comrades in Book 23. Through funeral rites and games to honor the dead men in Book 24, shares his grief with his enemy Priam, the old man whose son he has killed. Achilles welcomes Priam into his tent, sits and weeps with him, and says, 2 jars are set upon the floors of Zeus. From one he gives good things, the other bad. When thundering Zeus gives somebody a mixture, their life is sometimes bad, and sometimes good, but those who serve with unmixed suffering are wretched. Terrible starvation drives them across the shining world. They have no honor from gods immortal. Doesn't Achilles get shot in the ankle? Like the whole like Achilles curse is like on his like heel, which is why it's called the like Achilles tendon or heel. It's like one of those words, but like that's the whole point of the thing, and that's why you also have like they're not in here.
Look at that mess.
What mess?
You serious?
I'm gonna have to be big quiet now. Wine was sitting on mixed with water and activity. Served with last mixture into cups. The Achilles parable one of the cosmic jars contained unmixed suffering, like a wine jar with nothing but water. It's not going wrong. It is a drink for those who have experienced great honor and wealth, as well as terrible loss. Achilles now understands that he, like Priam, been fortunate. He has known success, glory, and love, as well as loss. The implied third jar containing only blessings, like unmixed wine or ambrosia, is only for the immortal gods. Achilles' wrath is driven by a belief that he, an extraordinarily talented, quick-footed fighter with divine blood in his veins, should never have to suffer loss. Without adequate compensation, his wrath can end only once he recognizes that no mortal, even the son of a goddess, can even ever hope for such a good fortune. It seems like they're showing off. Something. Mm. 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 I think we should be fine, actually. I don't think we need to like read basically the rest of the introduction, because the rest of the introduction is like more background. I'm not reading about Troy. Who cares about Troy? No one. And then the other one is like the code and things about the conflict and norms of war. Which we're gonna slightly, like half of the stuff that they've currently explained in the introduction is something that we're gonna slowly see in the Iliad, so I'm not seeing like any point, and it's slowly spoiling the Iliad, and I don't like that. So we're gonna see some maps, and I like maps. I'm a big fan of maps. And so first we got the Greece and Western Anatolia. You got all of Macedonia. Where's the phonies? Where are my phony boys? Oh, they wouldn't be around, would they? No, I don't think they are. Dang it. Oh, I'm not upset. I don't see the ponies. Oh. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. The Iliad. Ready for book 1? The Quarrel. Goddess sing of the cataclysmic wrath of great Achilles, son of Pallas, which caused the Greeks immeasurable pain, and sent so many noble souls of heroes to Hades, and made men the spoils of dogs, a banquet for birds, and so the plan of Zeus unfolded, starting with the conflict between great Agamemnon, lord of men, and glorious Achilles. Which god set the pair apart and prompted them to part? Apollo, son of Leto, and of Zeus. Fury set the son of Atreus. The god spread deadly plague throughout the camp, so that the common troops began to die because their leader, Agamemnon, treated crisis. Apollo's priests with disrespect. The priests had come towards the Greek ships, faced the warriors, bedecked in bronze. To free his daughter with countless rings, had removed his sacred diamond, the emblem of the distant god Apollo, and held it wrapped around a golden star, and prayed to all the Greeks, and most especially the pair of men who brought the troops to Troy, the son of Atreus, Lord Agamemnon, and Menelaus. You gotta make it seem like epic. Son of Atreus, and all you other warriors from Greece, I pray the gods who live on Mount Olympus allow you to destroy King Priam's city and safely reach your homes. If you return my darling child to me, accept this ransom to satisfy Apollo, son of Zeus, the god who shoots and strikes from far away. Then all the Greeks agreed to take the lavish ransom and respect the priest, but this proposal did not please the heart of Agamemnon, son of Atreus. He spoke to him aggressively and sent him harshly away. Be off with you, old man. You must not let me catch you lingering here beside our holy ships a moment longer. You will starve, and Dundon will not protect you, and will not let her go. She shall grow old, and very long far away from her fatherland, in Argos, in my house, and work the loom, and share my bed. Now go, do not enrage me. Go, if you want to get away alive. At this, the old man was afraid. He left and walked in silence on the shore, beside the loud, resounding rumble of the sea. Once he was far away from everyone, he prayed to the Lord Apollo, son of Leto, the goddess with the lovely braided hair. Lord of the silver bow, now hear my prayer, great guardian of Tendos and Chryse, and sandy Scylla, mouse. His sacred animal is a mouse? Dude, are you okay? I didn't. That. Well, that's embarrassing. If I ever built temples to you, I can ever burned fat thighs of oxen or of goats for you, fulfilled his prayer to me, and let the Greeks suffer your arrows to avenge my tears. That was his prayer. And Phoebus heeded him, enraged at heart. He swooped down from the peaks of Mount Olympus, bearing on his shoulders his quiver and his bow, and moved in rage. His arrows clattered on his back, but at night the god descended, then at a distance from the ships, and started shouting. His silver bow let out a shrouded full howl. First he attacked the mules and nimble dogs, then turned his piercing weapons on the men, and pyres were always burning, piled with corpses. For 9 long days the gold stars flew through camp, and on the 10th Achilles called the troops together at the meeting place. The thought was put into his mind by white-armed Hera. Like, is her, armor white, or is she just white? I'm confused by that sentence. I'm confused. Is she just white because they didn't know, shades? Because this goddess cared about the Greeks. She saw that they were dying. When the men were gathered and assembled for the meeting, swift-footed Lord Achilles stood and spoke. Wait, Hera was on the Greek side? Why was she in Epic? There. That's confusing. Because I thought the people that they know how to give fans was, on the Trojan side. If this literally says, because the goddess cared about the Greeks, saw that they were dying when the men were gathered and assembled for the meeting, swift-footed Achilles stood and spoke. We're gonna do is, such a dumb voice for Achilles. Now Agamemnon, son of Atreus, if we are crushed by war and plague at once, we will be forced to swivel around again, and go back home to save ourselves from death. But come now, we must ask a priest or prophet or somebody who knows the ways of dreams, for certainly dreams comes from us, from Zeus, to tell us why Apollo is enraged. He may be angry at a broken vow or lack of lavish offerings to him. He may accept the fat of a sheep and goats and turn this plague away from us. He's mad at the fact that he didn't free his priest greatly. That's what he was mad about. Jesus. Yeah, I'm finishing up book 1. God damn, I'm not doing any more with that. With that, Achilles sat back down, and Calchas, the son of Death, stood. He was by far the best interpreter of signs from words. He knew the past, the present, and the future. He was the guide who brought the fleet to Troy. Through skill and prophecy, bestowed in him by Lord Apollo, with goodwill he spoke. Achilles, favourite of Zeus, you tell me to speak about the wrath of Lord Apollo, the distant archer god, and I will do so, if you will swear that you will keep me safe. Protect me with your actions and your words. I am afraid I may enrage a man who has great power over all the Greeks, whom everybody follows and obeys. A leader is more powerful and stronger when he is angry, with the lesser man. He may consume his anger for the day, but he will keep the grudge inside his belly until at least he acts on it. So tell me, if you will keep me safe. And in reply, swift-footed Lord Achilles said to him, you don't need to worry now. Speak freely, and tell us what you know about the gods. By Lord Apollo, the dear son of Zeus, to whom you pray, when you reveal to us the gods' intentions. Calchas, this I swear, no one will lay a heavy hand on you. Besides, the hollow ships, not while I live and see the light, not one of all the Greeks will harm you, even if you speak about Lord Agamemnon, who now styles himself the best by far of all the Greeks. At this, the seer took courage and replied, the god is upset about a broken vow, or let's repeat that sentence. The god is not upset about a broken vow or a lack of lavish offerings to him. It is the priest whom Agamemnon scorned. His daughter he would not give back for ransom. That is the reason that the archer god gives us troubles, and will give yet more. He will not drive away the deadly plague that now afflicts the Greeks. To Agamemnon returns the bright-eyed woman to her father without a ransom or reward, carries a hecatomb to Christ. Then we may appease the god. With this he sat back down, but Agamemnon, son of Atreus, the mighty lord and warrior, stood up, grieved, his black heart full of furious rage. His eyes shone bright as fire, his scowled at Calchas and said to him, "You prophet of disaster, your words have done nothing but any good. You always love foretelling pain and trouble, but you always never mention or fulfill one single good thing. Now you tell the great small tales about the wishes of God. You claim the law to lay this plan on us because I did not want to take the ransom. I want the girl Chryseis in my home. I like her more than my own Clytemnestra. You probably should not say this. You definitely should not say this. She definitely did not kill you as soon as you go home because of different reasons. What the fuck? You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. One thing that women did a lot in mythology is pay back to their husbands. I can tell you that, or get with their sons. I can tell you that with Oedipus. You should not say that. You son of Atreus. I keep on thinking of Atreus from like Norse mythology. No, God of War. Atreus is in Norse mythology. He's like the trickster god, the best goddess. I like her more than my own Clytemnestra. My wife, you see, she's no worse than her in figure, height, intelligence, or skill, but I'm still prepared to give her. So right now, let's do a recap right now, because if I get too far, I'm gonna forget. So, Achilles mad. Achilles big mad, but Achilles is not really big mad. Achilles big mad at, Agamemnon. Achilles big mad at Agamemnon. Wait, let's see how it starts. Achilles big mad because his beloved has died, and he's been doing a lot of good things for the Greeks in killing all these Trojans, but a priest called the Chryseis came and was like, give me back my daughter, please. Like, I'll give you whatever you want. Just give me back my daughter, please. I can help you defeat King Prius of Troy. Just give me back my daughter. And Agamemnon was like, no, what the fuck? Like, dude, your daughter's like serving on my loom. Your daughter's being my loom. Your daughter's like the best ever. Like, no. And then the priest is like, okay, sure, if you want. And then Philon just, as soon as he left the Greek camp, he was like, I'm such a good boy. I don't know what. Please, get back alone. I me, and I return my daughter. The pilot's like, right, babe. Alright, bet. Then it rains arrows. It's been raining arrows and slowly killing the Greeks with plagues. I noticed this is like one of the first things that, like one of the only things I technically know that happened in the Iliad. Ow! I keep on aiming for this one. I should really aim for the chest. Probably shouldn't. This is probably more bone. This is more like chick. So Apollo rains down arrows and blah blah blah, and then Achilles is like, let's ask this dude. Let's ask Calchas, why the flip is Apollo doing this? Is it because we're not offering enough to him? Calchas is like, no. Agamemnon was just a bitch and didn't return his order back to the priestess back to his the daughter back to his father, and I kind of like the family. Oh, that's about it. And Achilles is like, oh, alright, bet. Agamemnon returned the daughter back. Agamemnon was like, nah, better than my wife. She's like so much better than my wife. She's better than my wife. Like, why would I return this hot baby? This hot babe. She's better than mine. No way. So that's what we're up to right now. I want the army safe, not dead. Now go. Find me another trophy, so I'm not the only Greek commander who lacks a trophy. That would be unfair. You can all see my trophy. Go on elsewhere. Remember how I said, how in the introduction it was mentioned, Agamemnon stole Achilles' trophy. Remember that? What if that's coming up soon? Swift-footed Lord Achilles answered him. Lord Agamemnon, son of Atreus, no one is more acquisitive than you. How can the valiant Greeks give you a trophy? We see no heaps of treasure lying round, ready to be divided up. The wealth that we have looted from the neighbouring towns have been shared out, and it would be unfair to make the warriors return it all. You have to send this woman to the god at once. One day we Greeks will pay you back with treasure worth 3 times as much, or 4, if ever Zeus grants us the choice to take the high world of Troy. Lord Agamemnon answered and said to him, God like Achilles, however brave and skillful you are, stop playing tricks, and do not try to rob me. You will not make me do as you propose, and you will not get ahead of me. You obviously want to keep your trophy and leave mine sitting here with none at all. And now, are you commanding me to give her back? Fine, if the Greeks provide another trophy to satisfy my heart and make it fair, but if they do not give me one, I shall come. I'd seize the trophy for myself, your trophy, or that of Ajax, or Odysseus. The man I visit will be furious. We'll discuss all this another time. But come now, let us drag the black ship down, and launch it on the bright salt sea, and gather a crew of rowers, and stow aboard the hecatomb, Hecatomb. I'm not going to search on how to pronounce that because if I do, I'm going to get embarrassed. One council member needs to go and lead them. Perhaps gods like Odysseus or Ajax or Agamemnon or you Achilles. Which one? No, I'm thinking of an old King Nestor. Ignore me? Ignore me. The wildest, most aggressive man alive. The leader must appease the god of distance by making proper sacrifices. Swift-footed Lord Achilles scowled and said, Incredible. You're just in shame. You're obsessed with getting profits for yourself. Which of the Greeks would willingly agree to make a trip because you told them to, or fight against an enemy for you? I did not come to Troy because I wanted to fight against the warriors of Troy. They never did me any harm at all. They never raided cows for me, nor horses, nor blighted fertile fields that fed the men of Phthia. Far across so many shallow hills, reverberating seas. I came with you, you brazen cheat, to please you, to claim back compensation from the Trojans, from Menelaus, and for you, you dog-face. But none of that means anything to you. You do not even care. And now you threaten to take away the trophy that I worked for after the sons of Greece gave it to me. You always get a better one than mine. When we sack any wealthy Trojan town, my hands work hardest in the frenzied fighter. But when we share the spoils, you get much more. I come back to the ships worn out from battle with something valued to me, but small. So I'll go back to Phthia now. My curved ship, because that is much better. I will not stay here to be disrespected, serving up wealth and revenue for you. Basically, Achilles is big man because he does all the hard work and gets nothing compared to Agamemnon, who's like, hey, fight this dude, fight that dude, go over there, fight that dude, and gets more money. That's basically the whole thing. It's like, Agamemnon, you suck. I do more than you, and you still get paid more than me. Literally anyone who gets run of their boss because they sit around being at their desk the whole day while you're doing all the hard work yourself. Any person with that doing a school project. Agamemnon, Lord of Men replied, Then off you go. if that is what you want. I certainly will not be begging of you to stay at Troy for me. You see, I have plenty of other helpers at my side, ready to treat me with respect and all that, including Zeus, the god of strategy. He's not the god of strategy, I can tell you that. He's the god of getting and having children, that's for sure. Actually, Harry's that. But, like, it's not the god of... He's not even the god of war. There's, like, 3 to god of wars, but he's not one of them. Aphrodite, Ares, and Athena, the 3 A's. The 3 A's of the Olympians. Like, Aphrodite has, like, some power in war because of her whole thing with love. The main reason why people fight in war is because of love. And then you got Ares, like, the god of, like, brutality in war. And then Athena with, like, the smart, like, the phalanx and things like that. That makes sense. God of strategy, I hate you more than any other leader, any of those whom Zeus protected and loves. You always relish in war and fights and conflicts. You may be strong, but some god gave you that. Go home, take all your ships and your companions, and rule your Meribian. I don't know how to say that word. Myrmidons? Maybe Myrmidons. I'm gonna guess. I do not care. To me, you are entirely unimportant. Younger does not bother me at all. But this, I swear to you, just as Apollo will take Chrysis back away from me when I sent her to him on my own ship, followed by my own very own companion. So, I shall take your beautiful Chrysis, your trophy. I myself will come and get her in person from your tent, so you will see how far superior I am to you. And the other man will shrink from talking back to me, as if we were on equal terms. There's like a whole just section full of notes. Like it finishes on like 6:10, and there's like a whole section. You ready? Agamemnon's like, I'm not sure. Go home. I'll take your spoil as well. I can do that. I have the ability to. Actually, I'm gonna do